Greetings, delegates. This is Arez Ansari. I'll be your speaker for the forthcoming session of Lok Sabha as scheduled. Now, a lot of doubts have come in as to what a resolution or a bill is, how it works, and how is it drafted. So, reading from the Lok Sabha Secretariat's parliament body, we'll directly delve in as to what a resolution is and what are the types of resolutions present in the constitution. So basically, there are three ways a resolution or a bill can be brought forward, and that is how resolutions are categorized. So there's a private member's resolution, which any private member or any member of parliament can put forward to the committee. Then there are government resolutions, which are like drafted bills that the government puts forward for the House to discuss. Then there are statutory resolutions, which are basically resolutions that work on existing acts or existing bills of the Constitution for the further betterment of the public at large. So, moving on from here, let us take a closer look at a single resolution and then see how they work. See, so for example, this resolution here. This House expresses its unequivocal condemnation of the heinous terrorist attacks in Mumbai by terrorist elements from Pakistan, claiming hundreds of innocent lives, and seeking to destroy the values that India stands for. So, this first small paragraph that you see here is the preamble to the resolution. So, these are two lines as to why the resolution was brought forward, as in what is the purpose of the resolution. Just two very short lines. Next. These these clauses that you see, notes, notes, and notes, these three clauses are called preambular clauses. These are clauses which specify the purpose of the resolution as to the why behind the need of the resolution. Okay, so for example, here notes that this outrage follows acts of terror committed since the beginning of this year in various places across India and on the Indian embassy in Kabul. Notes with deep concern the fact that Lashkar-e-Taiba, a terrorist organization that is listed in the UN Security Council Resolution 1267, is banned in Pakistan and has continued to operate and launch terrorist attacks in India. See, so post these preambular clauses, there's one line which says, on behalf of the people of India, firmly resolves that. This line basically remains same in almost all bills, basically. So this separates the preambular clauses from the operative clauses. The clauses further ahead from here are generally operative clauses. Operative clauses means actions that India is supposed to take, or actions as we as a country are supposed to take. So, India shall not cease her efforts until the terrorists and those who have trained, funded, and abetted them are exposed and brought to justice. India shall firmly counter all evil designs against its unity, sovereign, and territorial integrity. So, these are things that India is resolving to do. Let me give you the example of another resolution which will help you understand the same thing much better, maybe, because that's a full resolution, right? So, this one, like for example, this has a very clear distinction between the two, and there's one more that I'm looking at. This one, see. So here, this begins with we, the members of the Lok Sabha, exactly as how you'll be presenting your declarations or resolutions, as in your resolutions or bills, draft bills. We, the members of the Lok Sabha, meeting in a special sitting of the Lok Sabha to commemorate the 16th anniversary of the first sitting of the Parliament. Herein, we, the members of the Lok Sabha, are meeting in a special sitting of the Lok Sabha, but in the COVID-19 crisis situation. So that would be a little different here. Then, remembering with gratitude the immense sacrifices made by our freedom fighters in the nation's struggles and so on. Remembering, acknowledging, noting, and to uphold. No, these are basically the three preambular clauses that they've used. Further on from here, they've written, do hereby solemnly reaffirm our total and binding commitment to the ideals cherished by our founding fathers and resolve. So this is basically like the previous one only, that you solemnly resolve to do the following actions, and the operative clauses follow. So the operative clauses begin with verbs. Yeah, they begin with verbs as in they are actions as to the things that you're going to do, like to uphold and maintain the dignity, sanctity, and supremacy of the parliament. Now, also, so that you can better have an understanding and idea of what sort of words you're supposed to use here, we have attached a list of clauses very similar to this one here, a list of preambular clauses, wherein you can see the common preambular clauses that are used in parliamentary procedure, and also a list of operative clauses like these: adopts to, appeals, authorizes, concurs, denounces, condemns, instructs, is fully opposes, proclaims, recognizes. These are all operative clauses. And once you combine the preambular clauses, the operative clauses, differentiate between them using a line which separates the understanding part from the doing part, which basically tells you that the Lok Sabha, recognizing the above, has resolved to do the following, right? And before this, you place a small preamble, a two-line statement, which tells you as to why the resolution was important and what it stands for. And you're done with a draft copy of the resolution, which can then be submitted to the chair or the EB, the dais, basically, wherein we will look at the resolution, and then if furthering from our approval, it will be presented before the house, wherein the authors of the resolution will get a chance to read it across, right? Now, how it is how the pre part, this is the part of the resolution which is the more important part, but also the recognition part of the resolution, wherein from where it starts. See, there are three sections. So there'll be authors, there'll be co-authors, and there'll be signatories that are supposed to be mentioned, along, of course, with the title of the resolution, as in the basic content, as in highlighting the basic content, a title, a short title, right? So therein, what you'll have to do is you'll have to first identify the basic authors who have actually listed out the clauses and actually done the work. They'll be the authors, and I think we've restricted the authors to four. So there can be a maximum of four authors, but that is completely again under discussion between us, which we can on our own premises decide. Post which there'll be co-authors. Co-authors are the ones who have supported the document and are completely in support of the fact that it should be put forward to discussion and should pass before the House of Parliament. They have put forward their support and added points to the bill slash resolution. Wishing to discuss this bill must be greater than the quorum number, and the quorum number is one third of the total majority. Well, sorry, one third of the total members of Parliament present in committee. So, establishing fact upon the same, uh, I would further suggest you to put your mind a little bit as to the resolution of the committee and also to recognize the problems, right? Right now, first you have to research as to what the problem is. Once we sit down on committee, we will discuss about the probable highlighting causes, and post which we should start presenting our bills or our resolutions, right? But then again, it's completely up to you. Best of luck. This was your chair. This was your speaker. Thank you.